In our modern, fast-paced world, the demand for sustained attention and mental clarity has never been greater. For many, this has led to a reliance on prescription stimulants like Adderall to manage conditions such as attention deficit/hyperactivity disorder or ADHD, or simply to gain a cognitive edge. While effective for some, these medications are not without their drawbacks, including a host of side effects and the potential for dependency. This reality has fueled a search for alternatives, bringing a lesser-known cannabinoid, Tetrahydrocannabivarin or THCV, into the spotlight. The central question many are asking is whether this compound derived from the cannabis plant could offer a viable substitute for traditional stimulants. THCV is often referred to as diet weed for its purported appetite-suppressing qualities, but its effects on the brain are now gathering significant interest. Unlike its famous cousin THC, which is known for its psychoactive high, THCV appears to offer a different experience. Users report a feeling of clear-headed energy and focus without the intoxicating effects typically associated with cannabis. This unique profile positions THCV as a compelling subject of study for those seeking enhanced cognitive function without the intense stimulation or potential anxiety that can accompany pharmaceuticals like Adderall, opening up a new avenue in the ongoing conversation about mental wellness and performance. The comparison between THCV and Adderall is not just about swapping one substance for another. It represents a fundamental shift in how we approach cognitive enhancement. Adderall is a powerful, lab-synthesized amphetamine that has been a cornerstone of ADHD treatment for decades. Its mechanism is well understood, but so are its risks. THCV, on the other hand, comes from a natural source and works through an entirely different biological system, the endocannabinoid system. Exploring this compound means looking beyond conventional medicine and considering how plant-based molecules can interact with our own biology to produce desired therapeutic outcomes. As we delve deeper into this topic, it is crucial to approach it with a balanced perspective, grounded in scientific curiosity and a healthy dose of caution. The excitement surrounding THCV is palpable, driven by anecdotal reports and emerging research. However, it is a relatively new player on the scene, and the scientific community is just beginning to scratch the surface of its potential. Understanding the differences in how THCV and Adderall work, what the early science says, and the practical considerations for anyone curious about trying it is essential for making informed decisions about your health and well-being in this evolving landscape. To understand if THCV can truly be an alternative to Adderall, we must first look at how each substance interacts with the intricate chemistry of our brain. Adderall works as a central nervous system stimulant. It functions by increasing the levels of two key neurotransmitters, dopamine and norepinephrine. Think of it as turning up the volume on these chemical messengers. This flood of neurotransmitters leads to heightened alertness, increased focus, and a significant boost in energy. The effect is direct, potent, and fast-acting, which is why it can be so effective for managing the symptoms of ADHD, but it is also what contributes to its potential for addiction and side effects like jitteriness and sleep disruption. THCV, in contrast, operates through a more subtle and complex mechanism. It engages with the body's endocannabinoid system, a vast network of receptors that helps regulate everything from mood and appetite to memory. Specifically, THCV interacts with what are known as CB1 receptors. At low doses, it appears to block these receptors, which is the opposite of what THC does. This action may help modulate dopamine levels rather than causing a massive direct release. The result is often described as a smoother, more sustained state of focus, without the sharp peaks and valleys associated with traditional stimulants, offering a calmer yet more attentive mental state. This difference in mechanism is the core of the debate. Adderall essentially forces the brain into a state of high alert by cranking up neurotransmitter production. This can be compared to revving a car's engine to its maximum RPMs. It gets you moving fast, but it puts a lot of strain on the system. THCV's approach seems to be more about fine-tuning the engine. By interacting with the endocannabinoid system, it may help the brain regulate its own signaling pathways more efficiently. This could theoretically lead to improved focus and executive function without overstimulating the entire nervous system, potentially offering a more balanced and sustainable effect. Because of these distinct pathways, the user experience is profoundly different. An Adderall user might feel a powerful, almost artificial surge of motivation and energy, which can sometimes be accompanied by a feeling of being on edge. A THCV user, based on current reports, is more likely to experience a gentle lift in mental clarity and a reduction in mental fog. It's less of a forceful push and more of a gentle nudge in the right direction. This distinction is critical for anyone weighing their options, as the right choice depends heavily on individual neurochemistry and the specific type of cognitive support they are seeking. The growing interest in THCV is largely fueled by promising early research and compelling anecdotal evidence. While large-scale human trials are still on the horizon, preliminary studies and animal models suggest that THCV may offer tangible cognitive benefits. Research indicates it could play a role in enhancing neural plasticity, the brain's ability to form new connections, and balancing dopamine levels in key regions associated with attention and reward. Some users involved in initial case studies have reported a noticeable improvement in their ability to maintain focus on tasks, with some estimating a 15 to 20% increase in sustained attention and a marked reduction in mental fatigue throughout the day. Beyond pure focus, a key potential benefit of THCV lies in its reported side effect profile, which appears milder when compared to Adderall. The common complaints associated with amphetamine-based stimulants, such as increased heart rate, high blood pressure, severe appetite suppression, insomnia, and mood swings, seem to be less prevalent with THCV. Instead, the most frequently reported side effects are minor, such as dry mouth or, in some cases, a slight feeling of anxiety, particularly at higher doses. This gentler impact on the body makes it an attractive option for individuals who are sensitive to stimulants or concerned about long-term cardiovascular health. Many personal accounts echo the findings of early research, painting a picture of a unique mental state. Users often describe the effect not as stimulation, but as activation. They report feeling more awake, engaged, and capable of organizing their thoughts without the racing mind or physical jitters that can come with Adderall. For example, a student might find it easier to sit down and study for an extended period, not because they feel an intense pressure to do so, but because the usual distractions and mental clutter seem to fade into the background. This calm focus is a recurring theme in user testimonials and a significant point of differentiation. Furthermore, some preliminary research suggests THCV may possess neuroprotective properties. This means it could potentially help protect brain cells from damage caused by oxidative stress and inflammation, which are factors in long-term cognitive health. While this is still a developing area of study, the idea that an alternative to Adderall might not only enhance short-term focus, but also support brain health over the long run is incredibly exciting. It reframes the conversation from simply managing symptoms to potentially fostering a healthier neurological environment, though much more research is needed to substantiate these claims definitively. While the potential of THCV is intriguing, it is essential to proceed with knowledge and caution. Since the market for cannabinoids is still largely unregulated, the quality and purity of products can vary dramatically. If you are considering trying THCV, your first step should be to find a reputable brand that provides a Certificate of Analysis, or COA, from a third-party laboratory. This document is crucial, as it verifies the exact amount of THCV in the product and confirms that it is free from harmful contaminants like pesticides, heavy metals, and residual solvents. Without a COA, you have no way of knowing what you are actually consuming. Finding the right dose is another critical consideration, as there are no official medical guidelines yet. The principle of start low and go slow is paramount. For someone new to THCV, a starting dose of around 5 to 10 milligrams per day is often suggested. From there, you can monitor your body's response over several days before considering a gradual increase. For cognitive enhancement, some experienced users report benefits in the 10 to 30 milligram range, often split into 2 doses. Remember that individual neurochemistry varies greatly, so what works for one person may not work for another. Patience and careful observation are your best tools. It is also vital to be aware of the legal landscape. The legality of THCV exists in a gray area and can differ significantly depending on where you live. While hemp-derived cannabinoids were federally legalized in the United States by the 2018 Farm Bill, some states have enacted their own restrictions on specific compounds. Before purchasing or using any THCV product, take the time to research your local and state laws to ensure you are in compliance. This legal ambiguity underscores the newness of the field and the need for consumers to stay informed as regulations continue to evolve. Most importantly, Any decision to use THCV, especially as an alternative to a prescribed medication like Adderall, should be made in consultation with a healthcare professional. A doctor, particularly one experienced in cannabinoid medicine, can help you understand the potential risks and benefits as they apply to your personal health history. They can also provide guidance on how to safely taper off an existing medication if that is part of your plan. Self-medicating without professional oversight can be risky. In conclusion, while THCV shows promise as a tool for focus, it remains a frontier in medicine. Responsible exploration, guided by research, quality assurance, and expert advice, is the only way forward.